Return from executive session?
Second.
Mr. Garth? Yes. Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs.
Yes.
Stone?
Yes. And please join us as we say the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, move to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Second. I'll second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. Okay, presentations and recognitions. Who is reading that? Do you
Well,
want to?
I would recommend Mrs. Lawson.
Yeah, I would recommend Mrs. Losty too, because she can pronounce it.
Okay, here we go. Yeah, so I move to adopt the proclamation declaring February as cholangiocarcinoma month in Anderson Township.
Second.
Mr. Garth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. Does anyone want to say anything else about that? Cholangiocarcinoma is a bile duct cancer. So anyway.
Yeah,
we're
and
making
I forgot to mention that February 16th specifically as cholangiocarcinoma day. I think, those bile duct cancers and how they impact people's lives, it's a life-changing diagnosis, so it's just bringing awareness to this disease that is a very tough diagnosis to have.
Okay.
Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Lexi. Okay, let's see, public forum. Individuals who wish to address the board should state their name and address for the record, make their points as clearly and concisely as possible, and limit their comments to a maximum of 3 minutes, which may not be shared with or yielded to others. All comments shall be directed to the Board of Township Trustees. Thank you. Anybody want to address the board? Come on up.
Come up.
Hi.
Hello.
My name is Doug Rennie. My wife and I live at 8201 Bridle Road. Bridle is a mile-long stretch between 8 Mile and Little Dry Run. And we've also got some neighbors from the area there. We have a dangerous traffic problem that is getting worse. Because of the topography, sight lines, now the volume of traffic, since Johnson Park, the volume has increased and keeps increasing. Now with the 32 construction starting, and eventually we're going to have the detour so people run, but now it's a cross street basically is what's happening. So if you're trying to enter from either side, either of the private roads, you're really interfering with traffic because you can't, we can't see traffic coming down the hill. Traffic can't see vehicles until you pull out. And I guess the county put up a 20-mile-an-hour warning sign, no effect whatsoever. So we've got to find a solution for slowing down traffic. And now school buses are taking the route too because of in anticipation of the detour. So it's just getting worse and worse. We're looking for a solution. We're looking really, I think we need something haptic on the roadway like they just did down at the end of Little Dry Run on that curve as you head toward the golf course there. I don't know if anybody goes down Little Dry Run, but you immediately slow down now because you feel the bumps in the road. It tells you. So that's what we're looking for. Anything to actually get people to slow down. I know we can't do anything about the volume. We understand it's going to get worse with what's coming, but we've had a number of accidents and they're going to be high speed. People are 40, 45. You're going to have a T-bone collision. So
Okay.
it's bad.
Thank you.
Well, thank you for coming and bringing it to our attention. We will have our staff look into this and see. And can you give your information to maybe to Mr. Severs or something, so we can get in contact
I was
with
just
you?
going to ask, have you spoken to the county engineer's office at all?
Yes.
Okay.
We,
It's their roadway, and we're the lowest form of life in
everybody
the
says,
government structure. so.
We can't do anything about it.
Well,
It's like,
typically our first process would be to put the speed trailer out
Yeah.
and begin to get data. We do that with any of the, this is the first time we've heard. I mean, I drive Bridle. I think we all can assume many of the roadways in the township, but that would be our first starting point, is to find a good place to place the trailer to get data, and we can kind of go from there and be more educated.
I
on
mean,
it,
that'd
so.
be great.
Yeah.
We've made it as many calls and kind of said, so who do we talk to? And,
But at the end of the day, Bridle Road is a county roadway, and
Yeah.
any changes or anything rests with Hamilton County.
my wife
we
was
can just
actually on
yeah.
the phone with the county today, and they said, well, we don't do roadways. It's like, well, who does it? It's safety. Somebody's going to get killed, then, at some point, somebody will do something.
Okay, well, we will look into it because you are correct. When 32, when that's closed,
it's-
starting in May, things are only going to get worse. So
Oh, yeah.
we need to,
People are already taking it. So.
yeah. Okay,
Thanks for taking
Thank
the time to share that.
thank you. Anyone else? Sure, come on up.
I could just take care of that, sorry, but this is gonna be our next driver on our road. And
Okay.
Get it, yeah.
If anyone has a chance, I challenge you to go down the road and see. There's a WPA wall that was put back some time, and it literally blocks the entirety of the road. So the trouble is that the cars that are oncoming, they can't see you, and when you have your car out, they assume you can see them, but you can't. So there's mirrors that are in place, and the challenge is that if the light hits those in a certain way, you can't see them. And a lot of times cars are just going too fast. So I mean, there's, it's like you're kind of playing the lottery every time you come out. 99% chance, you're going to be fine. There's that 1% chance for someone like him to drive, but they're not going to be experienced, and they are going to get hit. We've had friends that have been hit that way too. It's not uncommon. I think on the road has had someone that they know get hit going outside the road. So it's a challenge we have, and we bring it to you guys' attention because we want to help.
Okay. We appreciate you speaking up. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Okay, we will close public forum. Trustee comments. Josh?
No comments.
Lexi?
Yeah, so the last, a couple brief comments. So since our last meeting, the trustees and administration went to the Ohio Township Association conference at the end of January. And it's just it's great for me, especially in my second year in office. I was able to get a lot out of it, so appreciate attending. But you're there. It's a conference with workshops and education for elected officials and administration and staff. And being there, while I learn a lot, it's really great to see Anderson Township in the room with everyone else, how well of a job that's done by administration and the team at large, the collaboration, the planning process. This is something I was incredibly proud to be there and be a part of Anderson and to work with you all. And then kind of along that note, I saw on Facebook yesterday a post about this. I'm calling it a portal. I don't think it's a portal. It's a website that Sarah, with the help of one of our co-ops, put together, showcasing all the art around the township. It's so beautifully done. And she put a kind of call out at the end that if people in the township, you see art around, you can send that to her and add it. So I love seeing these things and us kind of paving the way and seeing Anderson at the state level, and just really proud to work at the township. So that was my brief but long comment.
Thank you.
What was your favorite workshop?
The communication one that you
Josh's.
led.
Josh and
Yes,
Vicky.
And Vicky, they did an incredible job.
They did. They represented us well.
You did, yes.
Okay, well, I have a couple comments. You may have, it was in today's paper, the Hamilton County, it's on our township website. Hamilton County Emergency Management and Homeland Security Agency has a survey out to see how prepared we are. Given everything that's gone on in East Palestine, I think it's like in people's minds. So, how, and the survey's about, I took it yesterday, how prepared are you as an individual in your home? Like, how do you get notifications? Have you signed up for Smart 911, which is an app on your phone? Or do you get things on your TV? Or do you have a weather radio? It's all those kind of questions. They're just trying to find out how prepared we are so they know where they should go to give you information. So I would encourage you all to go, you can go to our website and find the link for the survey to fill that out. Secondly, we have a drop-off day here on February 25th, Saturday, February 25th. That's go through your medicine cabinet and all those old drugs that you don't need anymore. You can bring them here and they will just be disposed of properly. And finally, this I just saw when I was on the website today, but there's a 5-week free class on self-defense, unarmed citizens self-defense. So put on by the Hamilton County Sheriff's Office, which I think sounds really cool. So
Yeah.
anyway, that's free.
Very
Yes.
nice.
There was discussion about the drug law, and I was looking for a link, I was looking all over social media, we couldn't find any information yesterday on the drug law.
It's on our website. It's from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. Saturday, February 25th, and it's, let's see, District 5 substation.
If I may, we do our best to try to encourage everybody. Anderson Township, gov, it's our website. And we also have an Anderson Township, Ohio Facebook page, also andersoncenterevents.org for events. There are, and part of Mr. Girth's presentation was talking about how many different Facebook pages and websites are out there that say Anderson Township. We have 3. It's our 2 websites and our official Facebook page. So we hope you help spread the word that those are the official sites, and that's where you can get the information you need. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. Okay. Ken?
Yeah, thank you. Financial reports that you have in your packet are as of the end of January. Very little activity on both the expenditures and revenues, but I can tell you in February, the last 2 weeks, we received advances from the real estate collection, and they are substantial to the tune of about $20 million, which is about 40% of what we're going to receive the whole year from the real estate collection. So, but they will be on our next report, just to show up in the end of January. We have an approval that we need for creating a new fund, Fund 57. I think we have talked about this in the past. This is the firefighters grant by Board of Trustees. We need to create a new fund for that, and that's all we need to do at this time, is just make sure we get that in the budget that's coming up. And I might say we're going to hopefully present our summary budget for the fiscal year 2023 at the end of March. We hope to have information to you by the interim meeting, which will be in a couple weeks. So.
Okay.
But I would need approval on that additional fund.
I'd move to approve the new fund, Fund 57.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Weston?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you.
And do we have
No minutes.
no minutes?
that's
Okay,
okay.
great. Thank you. Okay, Margaret, Law Director?
No report?
Okay, thank you. Planning and zoning, Paul?
Hi, good evening. The item under our department for this evening is the Kellogg Gateway Study. I'm very excited to announce that we are nearing permitting for the Gateway project. And just to refresh your memories and those in the audience who may not be aware, but the Township Trustees adopted our Kellogg Gateway Study in 2021 in October. Starting in January of 2022, the Township hired Kleinger's, who is a planning and landscape architecture engineering firm, to start with the implementation of that plan. Our first priority project were the 2 interchange areas, the Kellogg 275 interchange as well as the 52 Kellogg 275 interchange. So over the past year, we have been working with the City of Cincinnati, Ohio Department of Transportation, the Hamilton County Engineer's Office, residents and business owners in that area, and have finalized the landscape improvement and the streetscaping at the 2 interchanges. Those improvements also involve art. A sculpture will be located in that interchange, as well as underpass lighting there at Kellogg and 275. So as part of the permitting process from the City of Cincinnati and ODOT, ODOT and the city require maintenance agreements for responsibility for those improvements. So there are two maintenance agreements for your consideration tonight. One for the 52-275 interchange, because that is completely within the township, and the other one is within the City of Cincinnati. So two separate agreements must be made.
Okay, thank you. I move to adopt the resolution approving a maintenance agreement with the City of Cincinnati relating to the Kellogg Gateway improvements and authorizing the execution and delivery said maintenance agreement and related documents.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
And I'd move to adopt a resolution approving and authorizing the execution and delivery of ODOT agreement with respect to Kellogg US 52 Gateway improvements.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Okay, moving right along. Let's see, Lieutenant Dan.
Hello.
Before you, you should have a transfer of liquor license request for 7854 Beachmont Avenue. This is the Ameristop there. It's just moving 2 stores down. It's that liquor license for that one. They're keeping the Ameristop. They're just moving 2 doors down.
Oh, they are?
Yep. Same building.
Oh.
It's in the elbow, as they said.
Oh, it's in, oh, it is, okay.
Okay.
We have no objection to the request.
Thank you. I move not to object to a liquor license transfer of location request for J. Maddie 7854 LLC, DBA Ameristop Food Mart located at 7864 Beachmont Avenue.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, let's see. Eric, Public Works.
Good evening. Tonight we have a resolution for our 2023 street rehab program. On February 8th, Public Works Department opened bids for the Anderson Township 2023 street rehab program project. The published estimates for the work was $2 million even, and the recommended bid total was $2,017,429.10. Bids not in excess of 10% of the estimate may be awarded. So the department reviewed the bids for content and completeness to establish the lowest and most responsive bidder. And based on this analysis, I recommend award the project to John R. Jurgensen Company in the amount of $2,017,429.10. And furthermore, a 10% contingency of $201,743 is recommended to cover any unforeseen conditions outside the original scope of work for the paving. And that's before you this evening for your consideration.
I move that this board hereby accepts the bid of $2,017,429.10 from John R. Jurgensen Company, deemed to be the best and lowest and/or responsive bidder for the Anderson Township 2023 Street Rehab Program project in accordance with the bid plans and specifications, together with a 10% contingency for a maximum appropriation of $2,219,172.10 from 1994 TIF funds in the 2023 budget. Further, this board hereby authorizes and directs the township administrator to give timely notice of award to the contractor and, after consultation with the law director, to enter into contract with John R. Jurgensen Company in accordance with their bid for the Anderson Township 2023 Street Rehab Program project.
Second. Great job.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. That's all we have.
Eric, just so people know, because that's a lot of money, how many miles of road are we going to be doing this summer? Do we have in a ballpark?
It's about 11 miles.
11 miles.
Well, it's 10 miles, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 10 miles.
Is that typically what we do? Try to.
We
what is
have
that?
for the last 2 paving projects. It's actually been 10 plus
Okay.
sometimes. But yeah, this year's right at 10 miles.
Okay.
So quite a bit, really, for a township.
Yeah. Okay.
So thank you.
Good. Thank you. Okay. Let's see. Rick, Fire and Rescue.
Good evening.
Hello.
Tonight, we have for your consideration a resolution which would authorize the sale of obsolete or items that are unfit for use within the fire department out on public auction via a GovDeals Inc. Entity. the problem with a lot of the things that we have, they're broken or it's very hard to find a buyer, and by putting them on the auction site that reaches a lot of people, we have a chance to recoup minimal amounts or as much as we get, but some amount for some of the things that we would otherwise throw away. So we're looking for authorization of the resolution, which would allow the township administrator into a contract to set up that situation.
If I could add on to that, later on, under administrator portion of the agenda, you're also going to hear a request for another auction site through Hamilton County. And what we're looking at primarily is and we cannot cross post, so we can't post items on both sites, but Gov Deals, we're looking at that for the larger apparatus and some of the vehicles, some of the tools that are specific to firefighting, where Hamilton County auction site will utilize that for furnishings. We have some old cushions from this building and some smaller items. So that's why you'll hear a request for 2 tonight.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you. I move to adopt the resolution authorizing the sale of surplus personal property by use of the online auction system operated by Liquidity Services Operations LLC, doing business as Gov Deals Incorporated, pursuant to the terms and conditions of a memorandum of understanding with Liquidity Services Operations LLC, which memorandum of understanding is approved and authorized.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you. See if we sell anything. Okay, Vicki.
Yes, and this evening you're going to hear from 90% of township administration staff. We're going to start with Mark Magna.
Okay.
Good evening.
Hello.
Let's see. The first item I have for you is a motion to authorize us to bid the Kellogg Avenue landscape enhancements. We plan to advertise for bids in March and April of this year with a tentative bid opening on May 9th. We're going to give additional time for bidders due to the magnitude of the project. I will then make a recommendation to the board and request acceptance of the lowest and best and our most responsive bidder at the May 18th meeting. Our goal is to begin construction in July 1st with a contract completion date of mid to late 2024. There's a motion here for your consideration.
I move to authorize bid preparation and advertisement for the Kellogg Avenue Landscape Enhancement Project.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. My next item is, as Vicki talked about, sale of surplus property. You have a resolution before you authorizing us to use the Hamilton County surplus internet auction. We vetted the contract with law director and the changes were accepted by the county. Now this will allow us to sell surplus equipment from this building and from other departments that wouldn't go on Gov Deals. So again, there's a resolution for your consideration.
I move to authorize the sale of surplus personal property by use of Hamilton County's surplus internet auction pursuant to a contract with the Board of County Commissioners of Hamilton County, Ohio, authorized by Section 307.15 of the revised code, which contract is approved and authorized.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. The next item is a motion to authorize us to renew our electric aggregation program. As we discussed at the February 2nd interim workshop meeting, our current aggregation program renewal term will expire with the June 2023 meter read. Dynegy is our current service provider. Then the rates we have right now are 4.98 cents per kilowatt hour for brown and 5.08 for green. I'm requesting authorization to utilize our broker, NG Alliances, to solicit a renewal rate for multiple providers through a competitive RFP process. I plan to present the results and make recommendation of the rate and term for your consideration at the April interim workshop meeting. If approved, opt-out letters will be sent to eligible residents. The renewal will commence with the June 2023 meter read and show up on July's bill. Again, there's a motion for your consideration. I will note that they target a rate not to exceed 7.5 cents per kilowatt hour. Rates will go up, but still probably less than Duke's.
Okay.
I move to authorize the township administrator to renew the Anderson Township Electric Aggregation Program and by utilizing Energy Alliances solicit a renewal rate through a competitive RFP process.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. The next item is a motion to authorize us to solicit township facilities electric rate. Again, we discussed at the interim workshop meeting that our electric rate for township facilities, which include what we own, Fire Station 22, and our street lighting accounts, will expire with the May 2023 meter read. Constellation Energy, with our agent Affordable Gas and Electric, is the current service provider at 4.051 per kilowatt hour. I'm requesting authorization to solicit electric rates from multiple providers through a competitive RFP process. Again, I'll make recommendations of rate and term at the April interim workshop meeting. Again, a motion for your consideration.
Thanks. I move to authorize the township administrator to solicit an electric rate for township facilities through a competitive RFP process.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you. And last for me is a motion to award the Fire Station 6 driveway replacement. On February 8th, we opened bids for the Fire Station 6 driveway replacement project, and the copy of the bid results are attached. The published estimate for the work was $195,000, and the recommended bid total is $125,987.10. The department reviewed the bids for content and completeness to establish the best and lowest and/or responsive bidder. Based on the analysis, we recommend award of the project to JTM Smith Construction in the amount of $125,987.10. A 10% contingency of $12,599 is recommended to cover unforeseen conditions outside the scope of work. A purchase order from 1994 funds exists from 2022, which will cover the cost of the project. I can answer any questions, and again, motion for your consideration.
I move that this board hereby accepts the bid of $125,987.10. JTM, not the burger company, but Smith Construction, deemed to be the best and lowest and/or responsive bidder for the Fire Station 6 drive replacement project in accordance with the bid plans and specifications, together with a 10% contingency, for a maximum appropriation of $138,586.10 from funds currently secured in purchase orders using 1994 TIF funds. Further, this board hereby authorizes and directs the township administrator to give timely notice of award to the contractor and, after a consultation with the law director, to enter into a contract with JTM Smith Construction, Inc. in accordance with their bid for the Fire Station 6 drive replacement project.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Do they all
Yes.
have to be that long? I mean,
You're out
are
of
we
practice.
legally
You're just
required?
out of practice. I'm
The
sorry.
resolution part?
Yeah.
Yes.
Margaret.
Margaret says
Margaret.
yes.
Seems like we
said
can
yes.
make sure.
Margaret says yes.
Andrew can do it.
Try typing.
Yeah.
Thanks. I yield the remainder of my time unless you want me to read the rest of them.
Thanks, Mark.
No, you're fine.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
Jennifer Sanders is up next, our event coordinator.
I don't know how mine compares in length to all of the others. Good evening. So the resolution before you from me is about raising all of the rental rates for the various rental facilities that we have, as well as making adjustments to all of our rental contracts. Any questions? I'm happy to take.
No, it was needed to be done. Thank you. Thank you. I move to adopt the resolution approving and authorizing revisions to rental rates for township event space and revisions to forms of rental agreements for township event space.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And Mr. Severs.
All right, third leg of the relay team. We've got item G, which is Ohio River Trail. As we discussed with the board with the opening of the Little Miami Scenic Trail connection last year, we're now looking at kind of what's next, and we've been working down the Elston area. As far as the riverfront area, our next phase is looking at the area from 5 Mile Road out to Asbury Road. There have been some changes in that area regarding ODOT guidance, as well as possibility of using Duke easements through that area. So we are requesting the board's authorization to allocate $11,000 from an existing purchase order to utilize the services of IBI Group to assist with engineering activities in that area.
I move to authorize the township administrator to enter into a contract with the IBI Group following review of the law director for preliminary study of the Ohio River Trail extension between 5 Mile Road and Asbury Road in the amount not to exceed $10,000, as well as a 10% contingency of $1,000 using Ohio Riverfront TIF funds allocated for improvements in this area.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes. So basically, this would just be trying to extend where it ends there at the Marathon Station, kind of? Or is that?
That is correct. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
new guidance from ODOT. It's going to give us some opportunity to perhaps use some of the roadway in that area. So we're doing some analysis of what those new dimensions would be rather than having to be off the roadway.
Right.
And then ultimately, east of Asbury, we're meeting with Duke to explore the use of a Duke easement underneath the power lines on the north side of the roadway. So, yeah.
Cool. Great. Thank you.
I want to pass on to Ms. Parker.
Thank you. I am coming again to you this year to request that we renew our property and casualty insurance coverage with the Ohio Township Association Risk Management Authority. We've been with them forever, my 27 years and then some. We continue to receive good service from them, and it's a good value. When you join together with other similar covered entities, in our case, Ohio Townships, and you take out the need to report to shareholders and make a profit, the prices do get a whole lot better. And that continues to be the case once again this year. So unless you have any questions or need any other information, I would ask that the board renew our coverage again with OTARMA for the 2023 policy year.
Thank you. I move to authorize the renewal of the township's property and casualty insurance covered with the Ohio Township Association Risk Management Authority for the 2023 policy year.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Thank you.
And I'll close out this evening. We have 2 items remaining on the agenda. The first relates to Hamilton County's solid waste management plan update. The county is required by statute to update this plan periodically, and they have been working on the update to the plan, holding committee meetings for quite some time. The current version of the plan, which is close to 400 pages, I believe, is available on Hamilton County's site. It's hamiltoncountyresource.org. The E in resource, the first E in resource is the number 3. So it's hamiltoncountyr3source.org. The plan is available. They also have a brief highlight section that goes over most of what is in the plan in a very concise way. The comment period for the public ends on March 9th. The comment period began on February 8th. It goes to March 9th. They also are going to hold a public hearing on Tuesday, March 14th at 1 p.m. Once the public has an opportunity to comment on this period, this plan, which will run from 2024 to 2038, it covers recycling, educational items, diversion rates to try to divert food waste and different items from our solid waste systems. Once the public has an opportunity to comment, those comments will be taken into consideration. Hamilton County will finalize the plan, and then that plan will come before every jurisdiction in Hamilton County, including this board, for consideration. The county, all of the entities must vote in favor of it for it to proceed and go through the next step in the process. So that's just an informational item for the public. We encourage you to look at the plan, to add any comments that you may have. They talk about grants, and certainly this township has benefited from the residential recycling incentive grants, part of which pays for our recycling center up on Beachmont Avenue. The last item I have for the board is a request to renew our membership in the Center for Local Government. The Center for Local Government is a consortium of over 57 jurisdictions, counties, cities, villages, townships. Anderson Township was one of the founding members back in the 90s. It is a resource for sharing information, for best practices, for training. We have a number of staff members who, including Mr. Magna and Ms. Sanders, who have graduated from the Leadership Academy. And the request is for renewal of the township's membership for 2023.
I move to authorize renewal of the township's membership in the Center for Local Government for 2023 at the annual rate of $3,825.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Austin?
Yes.
Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Yes, thank you. That's all we have this evening.
Okay. That's it. The next regular meeting will be it's March 16th, right?
March
23rd.
March 23rd,
March
which is good.
23rd, yes, it's March 23rd, which is not our usual, so that'll be the fourth Thursday of the month.
5 Thursdays.
Yeah, there's 5 Thursdays, so it'll be the fourth Thursday of the month, March 23rd, 5 PM, right here. And can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Girth?
Yes.
Mrs. Lawson? Mrs. Stone?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.